Hi, Orange Girl here, and it's Mix It Up Monday on the Paper Issues blog today, and I'm here with another layout that I created using these three photos of my daughter and grandson at the splash pad. I was completely inspired by this Sunshine and Happiness by Simple Stories paper, and so I made this cut file. I've kind of got two here going. This one right here is the one, it's free, and it comes with a whole sheet of that. If I take the outside edge off in the software, then I can go ahead and make it look like this, more of a background rather than individual hearts. I also made, that's where my photos are going to go. I also had my silhouette cut out the word summer, but really it's just a bunch of dots so that I can use it to do some stitching around the word summer. I just applied some gesso and let that dry. I use gesso because it really helps let the paint flow on the paper and not just soak in right away. I'm just using some simple watercolors, mostly two colors of blue here. I want to give that idea of the water coming out from behind the pictures. I'm going to add some darker blue here, and I'm just using that packaging technique that you've seen me and a lot of other scrapbookers use. I certainly didn't invent it. I put my pictures up there so I can tell that I need just a little bit more paint because I've covered up most of the area with the picture, so I need to add a few more dollops around there. Then I'm going ahead and putting some splatters in both those blue colors. And it's pretty much ready as far as my background goes. Now I told you I was going to go ahead and paint my title, and I'm just using the lines that my silhouette, or the holes really, that my silhouette cameo punched in there and as guidelines. I'm doing the MER in an orange color, and that for the R I added a lot more water, so it's a lot lighter. And then I'm going to go back in with that same orange on all three colors. I'm just using a little less water to make it darker, or a little more water to make it a little bit lighter, so I have a little bit of that ombre effect. With the SUM, I am actually using two different colors of blue. I start with the dark blue, and now I'm using the light blue. And you'll see that I kind of go back with a little bit more, blending those two colors together on that U. And then the whole idea is I'm going to go around with the same colors, two colors of blue and two colors of orange, with my thread. Now I start this in front of you, and I'm not going to make you watch the whole thing for sure, because it did take me a while. I just put on some YouTube videos, watched YouTube while I stitched for a while. I stopped and decided to let that dry because I realized it was still a little too wet and it was going to rip the paper. So you'll want to make sure that you let that dry. Now I'm just taking those three colors that I was thinking that I was going to use, which was orange and blue and pink, and painting those. I don't end up using those cutouts at all, but I decided, my first idea was I was just going to back those hearts just all with the same pattern paper behind the whole thing. I've trimmed around the edges of the white cardstock, so there'll be a little bit of an edge around the outside, and I just thought I would use the same color of hearts, but I didn't like the way it looked, so I decided, okay, well, I'm going to back some of the hearts with different colors. And you saw that I was using that cut apart sheet because I wanted some just solid color and not really pattern. And so I cut around that yellow and the pink and it's kind of a peach color. And now I'm putting it on the orange background paper. All of these things are from the Simple Stories Sunshine and Happiness collection. So I realized now that I've added the pink, I really needed some pink splatters in there, so I just add some pink splatters. And that's pretty much all I did with the watercolor. I was unhappy with my layout, so I decided to change, you could see there, from color photos to black and white photos, because the photos actually, it made it extra busy. I'm adding some washi tape that I'm just tearing in half and using some pieces of paper. Some of them are the branding strips and some of it is actual pattern paper from the collection. But anyway, those photos made it seem more busy, and the photos were kind of lost in the layout because the layout's so busy. And so I stitched, now you can see I've stitched all the way around it, and now I'm just kind of roughing up the edges a little bit more before I get going. I'm going to finish my title with these Tim Holtz words. So it says, "For the Love of Summer." While I'm messing around with that, I'll finish telling you that Um, I switched to the black and white photos because then actually the black and white photos stand out better and don't get lost with all the busyness of the background. I love this really busy paper in the back, and I almost always use tissue paper right behind my photos. And I used a little extra so that it would just tone down that stripe. I still wanted the color back there, but I didn't want it to be just wow out there. So you can see how that blends in. Next, I think I come in, I'm trying to use those cutouts that I made with my Cameo, and it's just, I'm cutting some vellum thinking that it'll calm it down, but I just don't like it. I don't end up using it, so I just go straight to the die cuts from the collection. And I'm just adding all the hearts from the die cuts, or that are in those same colors. And then I'm going to add, I think I add some flowers in here, and then a few little words like, oh, that's summer fun right there. These I just love. They're like a brad, but they're self-adhesive. So you don't have to poke a hole in the paper and all of that kind of thing. So I really like using these. I do end up using adhesive behind these and almost everything else I put on my page, because when you use the gesso on the background like that, it really makes it so that things don't stick as easily. So I use my liquid glue to do that. So as usual, I'm going to add a few pops of color with some thread. It also adds to the messiness, which I like. Makes it look even more mixed media. I think I add a little pop of blue on each side, and then I add some pink behind some of the brads. Maybe not all of them, maybe just that one, I can't remember. You'll be able to see all of this a little bit better in the close-up photos at the end. I made sure I put a whole bunch of close-ups in there. So once I figured that out, it took me a little bit, the thread wasn't cooperating, then I am just going to go ahead and stick everything down because I'm pretty happy with where things are. To be honest, I'm going to tell you, I wasn't super happy with this layout until I came back to it a day or two later and decided, oh, it's not that bad. I just felt like it was not what I envisioned when I started. And sometimes when that happens, it's better. And sometimes when that happens, I don't necessarily like it. And at first I just felt like it was way too busy. But I really love the colors, and I really love the pops of colors, and I think it complements the pictures now that they're black and white, and that makes a difference too. So I like how it ended up turning out, and my title is pretty fun. So I hope that you're able to play along with us over at the Paper Issues blog and in our Paper Issues Friends and Fans Facebook page. I'm just adding some enamel dots here, and all you have to do to play along with us is do a layout using some watercolors and upload your picture in the group. All the details are on the blog, so you can see, and with links and everything, so you know exactly where to go and what to do. And I would love to see you play along this month because it's pretty fun, and most people even have, these are really cheap watercolors, they're kids watercolors. You can use any kind. I think I'm about done here. We're just going to go to, in a few minutes. Oh, no, I do add some things from some stickers from the sticker sheet. I add, I think, and I still haven't added my flowers. I still have some things here that are going to happen. So I was saying goodbye way too early. So I took a bunch of the phrase stickers from the Simple Stories Sunshine and Happiness sticker sheet. And while I'm placing these, I'm thinking about color. I'm also thinking about what they say, because I want what they say to be appropriate, but I also want color to be all around the page. So this is when things started to I just kept putting stuff on because I wasn't super happy. But then as I was putting stuff on the page, I felt like, oh, now it's really getting busy, but I'm just going to keep going. And I do end up continuing, and I do end up leaving all of it on there. I end up actually liking it in the end. So once I do this, I get back into the die cuts here in a second, and you're going to see me pull out a couple of die cuts that are flowers, but there were only 2 that worked. And so I end up going back to a different sticker sheet, the 12 by 12, not the one with the alphas on it, but the other one, the 12 by 12 sticker sheet. It also has a few things like, I think I pop a circle on there that says shine, and you'll see it in the close-ups. And right there I put in a another flower because I needed 3. I end up right here, I'm taking some pop dots and popping those flowers, the edges of the flowers up for just a little bit more dimension. And now I'm getting really close to being done. So like I said, play along with us this month. Do a little watercolor on a layout or project and share it with us. This is the final touch. Okay, so I added some black um, enamel dots because I have the black and white photos. I do end up actually, I don't think I do it on camera, adding some black splatters, and it just makes the black part of the title and the black and white pictures work out a little bit better. So you can see here they come. I hope you enjoyed watching. It was a little bit longer video than I'm used to doing. Play along with us at Paper Issues and let me know if there's anything you'd like to see in the comments. Thanks a lot. Bye.